Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches!
We didn't learn our lesson.
Nope, we stuck with it.
We're gonna try it.
Yeah, so Feud, episode 5.
And the winner is, I don't know if that's what it's called, but I bet a fair amount that might be what it's called.
Probably. So, I'm over it. Officially.
You're done?
I'm done.
The past episodes have all been different tones, but this is like within one episode.
There's 5 different
tones. 5 different tones this time. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. This is crazy.
Right?
It's wacky.
It really is. I was like, this is some nonsense. Like, you start off, you have like the fake newsreel.
Oh, right, it's like
Road to the Oscars.
It's the old-timey. Back in 1939, when Olivia de Havilland won for blah, 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 and it's just like, okay, what's this?
Right?
Dateline, Hollywood, California. Tinseltown.
Also, this is 1962.
It was definitely giving me like an old 40s newsreel vibe.
Yeah, which was strange given that like...
But then it was real footage, so... Like, the first part was real.
Okay.
And then you could tell when it transitioned.
Sure.
It wasn't really shot in black and white. They just colored it after the fact, and you can kind of just tell. So, like, that's really what happened.
I guess that's true.
But it was like, why this for this show that's trying to be some serious...
I don't know.
A serious depiction of females in Hollywood. I don't know.
But so we have that, and then you have the stupid fake Joan doc.
Oh my god, I have a lot of things to say about Catherine Zeta-Jones this week. So last week was Pauline's episode.
Yeah, this week
was Olivia de Havilland's episode.
And Catherine Zeta-Jones chewed all of the scenery.
It wasn't even that for me. I mean, it was very chewy, but it was sort of giving me, remember that Drag Race episode with Max Munchnick when they did the sitcom and Manila was acting up here and out to the balconies?
I can't remember an instance where I instigated hostile behavior.
Pretty mature enough to handle a beaver on his own.
And everyone over there! And it was like, what scene are you in? There was just a lot of like,
That's true.
pensive and dramatic monologues in this episode.
Yeah.
They literally showed the clapper this week, and it said Joan doc, and I was like, it doesn't exist!
I think it's a Crawford doc.
Or maybe it was Crawford.
Yeah, it's a Crawford doc.
Why would I say Joan doc, I suppose? It could be her sister then. It could be the other Joan.
Oh god, that.
Now, if it said Joan doc, that would have been kind of interesting if they're making a doc about both Joan Crawford and Joan Fontaine, and about what bitches they may or may not allegedly have been. And then it transitions to season 2, and the feud is Joan Fontaine and Olivia de Havilland, and then there we go.
Yeah. I still am not here for it.
I'm still here, but it'd be something.
Yeah, that's true.
I did like the line when Betty goes,
My Joan is far worse than your Joan.
The whole Oscars thing was like a disappointment.
well, I guess since we knew what happened, it was less exciting.
Sure.
But then...
did she ever win another Oscar?
Betty? No.
No.
And Joan also did not, in case you were going to ask that follow-up question. You weren't?
I wasn't.
Okay. Well, no, but Katharine Hepburn is the one who holds the record for most Oscars. But she won...
As it should be.
As it should be. But she won her third and or fourth? She might have 4. I can't remember. But she won and tied with Barbara.
Oh.
Babs.
Babsies.
That's the only tie I can remember.
I've never heard of a tie, so there you go.
But Katharine Hepburn wasn't there. And then Babs comes up in that like French clown outfit. Have you not seen it? With like the droopy bow and like the really fabulous 60s hair?
I don't think so.
Okay, well anyway.
Hello, gorgeous.
So this is the first time in the series that we get to see Olivia de Havilland not in the doc. So I thought, oh, they're gonna like give her a slightly different hairdo. Somehow
she looked younger to me.
She had the same hairstyle from 1963 to 1979. I mean, probably, but like, come on.
That picture that you showed me of her, she looked fabulous.
She's fabulous.
Did you hear about Doris Day?
What about Doris Day?
So Doris Day went to celebrate her 93rd birthday.
Love it.
And the AP pulled her birth certificate.
The AP?
Associated Press.
Oh, okay.
So they pulled her birth certificate. Turns out she's 95. You really got a kick out of that.
Oh, that makes me laugh. I love Doris Day.
I love Doris Day.
Oh, that's great.
Speaking of Doris Day, I watched an old movie of hers that was really quite terrible. Move
story.
Over, Darling.
Great story.
It's like not good. She's like a castaway for 5 years, and
Yes.
she's presumed dead, and then she like comes back, and he's like, "Oh, I just got married today."
Her husband.
Yeah.
Like, go watch Lover Come Back or Pillow Talk. Or Please Don't Eat the Daisies even is good.
I did have a great thought though. So it was like, what was she doing for these 5 years, right, on this island? And I was like, oh, she was in the South Pacific trying to get a man out of her hair.
Just washing that man right out of her hair.
Yeah.
But that's not Doris Day. It's Mitzi Gaynor.
Oh.
Do you remember that South Pacific TV movie where Glenn Close played the Mitzi Gaynor part?
I don't think so. With Glenn Close?
With Glenn Close.
There have been several made-for-TV South Pacifics.
Well,
but
there was one where Glenn Close was the Mitzi Gaynor part, and I was not mad about it.
I love Glenn Close.
This whole episode, you know what this whole episode felt like? A soap opera.
Yeah.
Like the music.
Yep.
The way everything just pushed in, you know. Like, I was really surprised nobody got slapped in the face or a drink thrown.
You know what my bitch sister has taken to telling the press?
It wasn't as ridiculous.
Exactly.
But I felt like, you know, the boring scenes of a soap opera.
Exactly. I don't know.
Bizarre.
It's weird. It is bizarre. It's funny because, like, I feel like this show has gotten a lot campier, but it's, like, not the kind of camp that I want.
Well, because they keep, like, fighting against it and trying to inject these social issues into it that may or may not have been there. So you're like, oh, I'm supposed to take this seriously. Oh, I'm supposed to feel really bad for how Hollywood treated them.
Right.
But then, like, haha, wacky. And you're just
I'm just remembering that scene from her, William Morris, where she's like, who needs fucking agents?
I don't see the point in having an agent or a room full of fucking agents. You're all fired.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like, she's great. It's great. I'm on board. Like, that's more of what I was hoping for. And instead...
Well, those are, like, the good soap opera scenes.
Yeah. And instead, it's like, you know, Susan Sarandon and, like, the weird audio cues of her losing the Oscar. And it's
Susan Sarandon giving a monologue to no one but herself, so I guess a soliloquy, to her Oscars, and just being like,
Wait up for me, boys. Tonight I'm bringing you home a baby brother.
God damn it, I'm bringing home you a younger brother. It wasn't that.
No.
It was sort of like this bizarre...
It was like toned down.
acting to the back
You know what
row.
it is? This show feels kind of condescending to me. To the women. It's like, ooh, weren't they so sad? Isn't it so sad what happened to them and how sad it was?
Well,
and everyone's so sad. It was like sad.
So Joan is going around, because she's actively lobbying for Bette Davis to lose the Oscar, right? And so she's going around to all the other nominees, or at least the ones that she thinks are going to win, and asking them if she can accept for them, right? And there's this whole very bizarre but kind of great Sarah Paulson as Geraldine Page, Joan Crawford phone call, where she's just like,
Those television cameras are many times more punishing than the motion picture cameras. Who's doing your gown?
well, at the end of the Sarah Paulson scene, she says, like,
Well, she needs it. And besides, Hollywood should be forced to look at what they've done to her.
poor you.
Yeah.
You're so sad. Like,
Well,
the
why can't it just be like, oh, fuck, you are a bitch. And like, that's kind of great. But also, it's kind of fucked up. You know, like it's like you have a light undertone of how sad it is that she's doing this. Let us
me
decide
come
that.
to the realization that this is sad. Let me go on that journey and be like, yes, bitch, you totally take that Oscar. That's petty and sad. But, like, I can still kind of love it.
That's my problem with this whole show,
It just shows you. It tells you.
It tells you what you're supposed to be feeling. And I'm like, no, show me, get me there. Here's Catherine Zeta-Jones to tell you about how hard it was for a woman in Hollywood. You know, and it's like, just show us how hard it was for a woman in Hollywood.
Yes. I did love Joan Crawford's satin purple phone call making caftan.
Where's an Elizabeth Taylor, like,
in this
biopic?
Scenario? Oh, sure.
Just
like,
thinking about
thinking, like,
caftans make me think of Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah. I feel like it would be wild.
Right?
I mean, it would actually maybe have to be its own miniseries because she was married 8 times.
Yeah. Like that.
And you're like, the glory years when she's like the young ingenue and she's in National Velvet, and then it's like, and now she's this, you know, touted actress, and you know, and her and Richard Burton and this volatile, you know, back and forth, and we got remarried and divorced, and then it's like the sad years with Michael Jackson, and you know, this. I mean, I think to this day the most horrifying like image I've seen is, remember those weird wedding photos with her and Michael Jackson? What were we talking about?
I don't know how this show is heavy-handed. Oh, caftans. The fabulous outfit of the purple calling caftan.
Right. Caftans.
Yeah.
It always comes back to caftan. Can we talk about the Joan getting ready for the Oscars scene? That was from a different show too?
That was like from I don't know what that was.
It was
that
shot-
like a makeup commercial? Like, it was so weird.
It definitely felt like it was shot by someone else or edited by someone else because it was just really long.
It was like,
shot.
right? Here
Remember?
I am with this clear
yeah.
mask.
I mean, I kind of loved that. And then when they're like sprinkling the silver on her hair, and it's very slow, and it's just a disembodied arm that's sprinkling. I mean, it was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
This is a different show again.
Yeah.
The thing that the show likes to do is it'll just be like, oh, we'll just throw in this famous person or this famous thing. I guess it's for me, for like a fan of the movies, to be like, yay, George Cukor's here. But it also feels like, why was that here? Why did that happen?
Right?
Did that happen?
Did that happen? Did he go to her house and say, don't do this?
But like, maybe? I don't know. George Cukor is fabulous. So he directed like My Fair Lady and Philadelphia Story and a lot of the Spencer Tracy Hepburn movies.
Love it.
He did Gaslight. Have you seen Gaslight? Oh, we gotta watch Gaslight.
Okay.
Oh, it's so
We'll add it to the list.
Ingrid Bergman, Charles Boyer,
Ooh.
Joseph Cotton. I mean, you know what gaslighting is.
Yes.
Yes, so that's where it comes from.
Like Collateral Beauty.
Yes. Yes.
Same level film, I'm sure.
I hate you. He also did Judy's Stars Born.
Oh, which I think that one's the better one.
It's the best one.
Yeah.
There's the really old black and white one.
Yeah.
Which is also fabulous.
Yeah.
And then there's the 70s Barbara one.
Haven't seen it.
With Chris Christopherson and Barbara. She's the fro.
This is going to be a controversial statement. I typically tend to try and avoid Barbara in films.
Really?
I just like...
But you've seen Funny Girl.
I think I've only seen parts of it. I might have seen the whole thing. I might have seen the whole thing.
Funny Girl was a movie that I watched. I went to a theater, and I was like, okay, if it's boring, I'll leave it intermission. This seems like it could, be it could be Hello Dolly. And then I was like, oh fuck, this movie's so good. Don't Rain on My Parade.
Don't. I mean, I've certainly seen that. Because I'm a homosexual.
That's you have to like do that before you're inducted, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, so George Cukor shows up. He was gay in real life, and he was sort of just like seemingly a very pleasant fellow.
The queens love me.
The queens love me. And he, like, Katharine Hepburn and him were real pals.
Oh no!
Oh no, it's everywhere! Oh, it's so cold! Oh, I feel like I pissed myself. Does it look like I pissed myself?
No, I can't really tell.
Okay, tell me, you guys. I didn't piss myself. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Gotta be careful with martini glasses.
So George Cukor
Yeah.
comes in and basically gives Joan a little speech, and it's just like, Joni, don't do this.
You're above this.
It's beneath you. And
Yeah.
she's like,
No, I'm not.
She didn't seem to like own herself the way that either it was acted or directed or all of the above or
right.
whatever.
The
written.
choices that were made.
Yeah.
Because then Betty is like talking to her Oscars and being all dramatic and monologue-y and
Extra,
like,
yeah.
or whatever. And this whole episode really, you didn't really watch Friends, did you?
No, not really.
This whole episode had a lot of smell the fart acting.
He listens, he's patient.
Can we talk about when this TV show decides that it's Goodfellas, and there's that whole back of the green room long tracking shot behind her, and it's just
like full-on Birdman.
Well, it's Goodfellas. It's literally the scene in Goodfellas where they let's go through the back room and everyone's doing stuff, and hey, give me a light, and whatever. But in Goodfellas, there's like a point.
Right. What was the point of this?
This I kept being like, okay, so what's going on here? Is there going to be a point? Oh, you just spent 3 days filming this for reasons?
Well, I think the point of that one shot was to like
the Goodfellas shot.
Yeah, was to show that like Joan had this place,
she knows her way around the back. I guess it just seemed very unnecessary.
Well, it's like, who cares? What does that tell me?
It seemed very show-offy and just like.
Why?
Okay.
What? Okay.
I mean, to be completely honest, in Goodfellas, it's a little bit like, okay. Let's be real. I mean, it's a little show-offy. But he did it, 20 years ago.
Sure.
So it's like, oh.
Yeah. It's like, wow, what a feat.
Exactly. I think the most successful episodes of Feud are when they're even between Bette and Joan, right? So
yeah.
Joan's in Bette's. And this was one of the ones where it was like, there's a lot of Joan.
A lot of Joan.
I mean, I'm enjoying them purely because it's tickling that
yes,
Hollywood.
It's hitting
I'm like, oh, that's fun. Oh, look at those outfits. Oh, this is silly. I don't hate it. It's just I wish it was better.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, see, I guess the only exciting thing about how each week is like an entirely different show,
completely different movie,
is that next week, who knows what's gonna happen?
Who knows? I guess it's gonna be pre-production of Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Because like Olivia's already in town.
Right.
I mean, I did love the character of Olivia de Havilland as this just like kind of do-gooder, fabulous, nice
friend.
Lady, and I think that's very true.
Yeah.
Just the acting was very bizarre.
It was really kind of bad, to be honest. It just was.
It just seems like she's miscast. Like she should be playing Ava Gardner or something. It just seems very bizarre to me that she's Olivia de Havilland.
It does.
Like, in all honesty, Kathy Bates looks more like her than Catherine Zeta-Jones. I mean, I really do like Catherine Zeta-Jones, but this was very bizarre.
No, not good.
We didn't talk about when Betty loses.
Oh,
and how fucking dramatic it got.
It was like way too extra.
It was literally like when a big bomb or grenade goes off in a movie and the sound drops out and then it's just like.
And Bancroft to the Miracle Worker.
I'm sure that's how she felt. I didn't feel like it felt silly and stupid instead of like impactful and powerful.
I agree.
Miss Joan Crawford. Miss Joan Crawford. Miss Joan Crawford.
Joan throws down her cigarette and then puts it out with her shoe
and it's like boom.
And that implies like, oh, this is funny. But then I'm like, oh, but I'm sad about Betty. What's happening? This is a real roller coaster. I feel like
they pick weird moments to be really campy.
Right.
Totally. It's like, oh, let's take this real serious moment and we're gonna make it really campy and like way overdone.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at like the inside of a lemon? It's like pretty crazy. Like the little cells and the bubbles. Seriously though.
I mean, it's like the skin. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's like little pores. There's pores.
Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know.
No more for you.
I swear I'm not stoned.
I spilled most of my drink on my lap, so I'm not as drunk as you.